Daytona Beach is home to beautiful beaches and, of course, the world center of racing. It is a new season for the Speed Racing Network ThermoPro Series, and it is the 7th rendition. Tonight, of course, is the duel from virtual Daytona International Speedway. I am Emerson Arden and Drake Carty alongside myself in the virtual booth this evening, and we're excited to be bringing you live coverage right from where stock car racing began. The B car doesn't get enough love here in the service, but this 650 horsepower rear-wheel drive beast boasts its return once more for SRN competition. Tonight, it is the ThermoPro Series tackling the high banks of Daytona. 30-lap duel on the docket for this evening. It'll set the starting lineup for next week's 85-lapper. And Drake, welcome into the booth. You had the opportunity to race last night in the Hair Club Truck Series duels. What did you learn from last night's event, and what can you expect tonight? And albeit it is a different vehicle, but same strategy, same structure.
Yeah, this track's very unique from all the other ones. This is a super speedway, so not a lot of tire saving, not a lot of fuel saving, not a lot of strategy now that it's only 20 laps here. A lot of just pick a partner, push them, and stick in a group and save it for the last 3 laps.
Absolutely. And so, of course, here we are at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. You'll see it scrolling along the bottom of your screen as well. But last night, of course, was the Hair Club Daytona duels. We had a pair of them last night. Tonight we'll only have one. Last night it was Jeffrey Vickriam, qualifying on the pole position for next week's Hair Club Truck season opener. Wally Babb took duel number 1, and Jeffrey Radke winning duel number 2. They will set the first few starting positions for next week's Tuesday truck opener. Tonight, we'll do it all again tonight. 130-lap duel as opposed to 2 20-lap duels. That's just as to car count. We'll still have single car qualifying, which is happening currently as we speak. We'll actually head down trackside and we'll take a look at that. This single car qualifying session will dictate who will start on the pole position for next week's 85-lap season opener at Daytona. Actually, we're trackside. Nobody has taken no one is on the track currently. Right now, it is currently Austin DeLong at the top of the timing sheet, and Ben Park, Landon Velicki, the top 3. Drake, when it comes to single car qualifying, how much did you prioritize, getting that single car speed to get to the front row, or did you kind of play for more the dual aspect? Did you think you have a chance at the front row? I guess is more or less what I'm asking. And how did you play it?
Yeah, qualifying was very important for me. It was my first race in the Truck Series, so I wanted to get a good spot to see what it's like up front. So I made sure my first lap was a really build-up lap, and made sure my second lap was really strong and got me up to the front. But that Daytona qualifying isn't really a big factor in the race because you're all pumped up and you can make your way up to the front. It's not like other tracks where it's all qualifying based off driver skills or driver setup. So yeah, this track's very different from the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, right, is well, for your guys' sake with the Hair Club Truck Series, the car count is a huge part of it, right? You have at least 30 trucks that we know of attempting to race next week, and that's huge. It's going to be a lot of momentum, a lot of chance to build runs and see where they come from. Whereas opposed to right now with the ThermoPro Series, only 16 trucks signed up. Looks like we only have 12 in the session. It's going to be a little harder to generate runs and all that jazz.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a factor. The Truck Series also, with all those cars that during these races, might cause bigger wrecks, and you got to watch out for those wrecks, especially at Daytona or super speedways. They could take out half the field easily.
Absolutely. And so we are kind of just in a holding pattern, waiting for time to tick down, seeing if Andrew Harris actually is our race controller, so seeing if Connor Cunningham or Daniel Park will take to the track as we speak. We'll have that qualifying order going up across the top of your screen here momentarily. And it was a little, I don't want to be negative, but it was a little sad that we had the ThermoPro Series come to a close so early last season. I know, Drake, you're kind of just finding out about this. Just car count was not up there for these guys, and of course it wasn't booming, if you will, and which is sad because I think the B car does do a lot. It still has the classic NASCAR feel now that the Cup Series has gone to the next gen, and it's a really hard to handle car. You have to drive it off the right rear a lot, and it just doesn't get that kind of love on the service. So hoping to see a bounce back for this ThermoPro Series this season, and we got a nice schedule lined up for it as well, which you can all find out. And if you wish to join the ThermoPro Series, you can also head down to www.speedracingnetwork.com and find out more information about that. But qualifying has come to a close. It is now time for our 30-lap duel. Let's go and take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's Daytona duel. And there it is, of course, Austin DeLong, the pole sitter now for next week's 85-lapper at Daytona. Ben Park alongside of him. Here we go for row 2. Landon Valecki and Jared Haynes. Row 3 will have Sean Corcoran, Robert Vick. Why don't you take us through the next 6?
Yeah, starting 7th, we have Dylan Godinez, Daniel Boulder starting 8th, Caleb Hatt in the 9th spot inside, Connor E. Cunningham 10th, Andrew Harris, and then Daniel Park.
That is how the well, we'll say 11 and Andrew Harris. Andrew Harris is race controlling tonight. So the 11 drivers taking to the track tonight. Everyone is getting ready to grid up. We're just waiting on Jared Haynes to grid up. But here we go. Everyone down on the grid, getting ready to roll off tonight. There's Austin DeLong in that 89 machine. Ben Park, my apologies, in the 17 machine. We saw Ben last night in the duel. You did race with, you raced with Dan. But you raced with one of the Park brothers last night. They are really aggressive, really fast. Dan's starting to show some speed. Ben got himself a championship a couple seasons back. That's a pretty quick duo. As far as tonight, Godinez, returning driver. Sean Corcoran, returning driver. Connor Cunningham, returning. But Daniel Baldler in that number 5 machine, he hasn't been a mainstay in Speed Race Network for a couple seasons, so he's back. We know he's always going to be fast here at Daytona, very aggressive. He's going to kind of command this race the moment he gets up to the front, and it'll be exciting to see what the 5 machine will do tonight. But some of the new names tonight, of course, Landon Valecki, Jared Haynes there in row 2. Some of the new names tonight, Robert Vick there in 6th, and Caleb Hatt. Some of those newcomers tonight that we should keep an eye out and see how they perform tonight. But enough yapping, we are getting down to business. The safety vehicle, iRacing.com safety vehicle that is getting ready to roll off the pit lane. Gridding has finished, and here we go. So you got a little taste of it right last night with the smaller pack. It was a little hard to generate momentum, especially if that pack got broken up. Drake, so what do you expect to see here early? Do you expect to see the aggression ramp up because it's so hard to make passes, or do you expect everyone to kind of settle in and wait for later in the duel?
I expect that for the most part, everyone's going to want to settle in and just wait and get to the lap towards the end of the race. But I'm sure there's going to be at least 2 or 3 cars wanting to get up towards the front after having a bad qualifying, and I think we'll see some upset from the middle pack of them trying to get up to the front, maybe cause a wreck. We'll see.
So here we go, working our way down the back straightaway. Again, if you wish to join the efforts here with ThermoPro, you can head down to www.speedracingnetwork.com/registration-form to get yourself signed up and join us for the 7th rendition of Speed Racing Network competition. Had a fun night last night. 2 opposing 20-lap duels for the Hair Club Truck Series tonight. 1 big 30-lapper tonight. Each driver is getting ready to do battle as they trek their way down the back straightaway at 70 crawling miles an hour here. Any final thoughts before we get to action here, Drake?
Yeah, just watch that high side, because I know last race I did, the high side was definitely the dominant line, and the leader of the pack just kept dropping down. So just watch out for that high side. You're gonna want to be up there.
Absolutely. So here we go, as the 11 Speed Racing Network ThermoPro Series vehicles get ready to do battle in season number 7. Roar their way off of turn number 4. The iRacing.com safety vehicle will find its safety down in the left-hand side of pit lane, and the field in the hands of Austin DeLong, and green flag is in the air. Racing will commence in Season 7 of ThermoPro. Here we go, a lot of jostling for position. The top side, as you mentioned, Drake, already getting off to a strong start. Sean Corcoran heading that charge. Big head of steam from him. He's got Ben Park caught in pursuit, and they are really shoving forward now, losing a little momentum in the corner, but down the back straightaway. That outside lane was really, really well organized. Finally, the inside, as they grab fourth gear and get up to speed. It's Austin DeLong heading that charge on the inside and leading the first lap of 30 here at Daytona.
Yeah, the high side's great, but you need help and support from behind you to make it work. So Sean just needs a little bit of help to make that work.
Oh no, car's in trouble. Ben Park, Sean Corcoran, the caution is out at Daytona already on lap number 2. Big accident. Daniel Baldler involved, Robert Vick involved. And the calamity has struck on lap number 2 here at Daytona.
There's that crash I told you guys to watch out for. That happened way earlier than I thought.
No one expected that carnage to happen oh so early here at Daytona. Let's go ahead and take a replay back, and we'll see just exactly what happened here as they headed through turn number 1. Looks like maybe a little miscommunication there between Daniel Baldler and Dylan Godina as they get together. They trek back down the track and collect many ThermoPro vehicles, and unfortunate already some of these nights ending early here at Daytona. Lots of damage and body panels flying everywhere.
Yeah, hopefully those guys can get back and healthy, new tires quick, because that could be half the field gone, like I said.
Right there, Godina's just the littlest tap can set it all up. And a lot of these guys having nowhere to go. No one expecting this either.
And it's so hard when you're running the pack close to 180 miles an hour just to see that and slow down in time and avoid it. Like, it's so hard. You just have nowhere to go.
Right, again, Baldler tried to go up. I don't know if Godina's tried to block, but they certainly came together, and oh, big hit there for the 93. Just nowhere to go. Taking on board here with Caleb Hatt and see what he saw heading into this incident. And it all just starts up there oh so soon. Hatt goes up high, but he washed back up the track, and he just takes a face full of the 7 car there.
Yeah, really unfortunate for him. Just had nowhere to go. Pinched up against that wall.
Well, this is not what we expected early in the going here at Daytona. And while we take a moment to recollect our thoughts, we're going to hear a quick message from our partners here at Speed Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. This is the ThermoPro Daytona Duels.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
What I'm about to do is something you never want to do, ever, period. But because I have top coat F11, I can. Watch this. Literally, black paint. I'm just wiping it dry. Come on, you can't beat that. You just can't beat that. That's top coat F11 for you.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Trouble on lap 2 sets us up for a very intriguing scenario here. And as the field approaches the restart zone, it's 7 vehicles still alive. Green flag back in the air. Racing resumes from the World Center of Racing. Down the back straightaway we go. It's Austin DeLong leading Veliki in that 62 machine. Veliki is there second. Connor Cunningham rises to the occasion now third. Daniel Park, Jared Haynes, Dylan Godinez, Ben Park. The driver is alive. Ben has already lost touch with the pack, so call it 6 in his lead pack, and it's Jared Haynes trying to stay with as Godinez and Haynes trying to figure it out behind. Dan Park trying to do something on the high side here. He's got a nose up to the quarter panel on Connor Cunningham. Cunningham trying to join up high with the former teammate, and they do line up nose to tail. Actually, they are teammates. Scratch that. Haynes and Godinez close up, and 6 cars tandem drafting, if you will. It's 2011 all over again. "23 circuits left to go here at Daytona to set the starting lineup for next week's season opener." Dan Park, big shot to the rear end of Connor Cunningham. Cunningham surges ahead. DeLong trying to get that bottom line organized, and now Godinez jumps up to the high side as well. 3 strong up top.
I'm curious if one of the high side drivers will bring it down to the bottom to see if they can take the lead and block the bottom if they get a run.
Well, Godinez being the key variable in this scenario. He's dropped down to the bottom side. He's going to give a push to Veliki and DeLong now on the bottom side. DeLong has the nose ahead entering turn 3. We'll now see if maybe Godinez jumps up high, tries to lead that outside lane. Another big run from Cunningham. That's exactly what Godinez is trying to do. He's got to commit, and he does. That's one of the biggest things that leads to crashes here at super speedways, though, is not committing to a move, and Godinez still unsure of what he wants to do. He's got to commit to a line.
Yeah, now we see him commit to the high side. Now he'll get the push from behind down the straightaway.
Oh, and hard into the outside walls. Connor Cunningham, contact with Daniel Park. They go spinning and careening off the racing surface on the back straightaway. Daniel Park loses the front end, and Godinez facing the inside wall. Looks like they escape mass carnage here. Cunningham will lose the draft as a result, and then there were three.
Oh, we stayed green for that one.
It was well off the racing surface, so iRacing doing them no favors. We're right on board here with Jarrett Haynes. See how hard Veliki tries to push with that damaged rear end on the 22. Looks like Haynes, with all that damage, he's struggling to close up to that rear end of the long all that well. Look at Connor Cunningham. Connor Cunningham closing up all by himself. How in the world is this happening?
That is hard to do. I don't know how he's making that work. Top three theoretically should just pull away from him, but somehow he made it pull back in.
Cunningham closes up to the pack. Now there's four. Connor Cunningham, what a drive to close back up to the lead draft without any help. And I'd love to see the lap time difference there. That time Cunningham runs a 48.37. The rest of the top three are running 49s. He's over 7, almost 8 tenths quicker. Now, I wonder if this is a result of Haynes not being able to push DeLong, but still not sure how DeLong by himself is not able to pull at the same rate enough to keep Cunningham at bay. But nonetheless, they do close up. There's Ben Park, unfortunately, getting lapped. Let's see if there's any chance to hold on here. Unfortunately, there is not.
He's got heavy front end damage. It's going to mess up his aero, slow him down. Same thing with Haynes.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of front damage on the front, right?
I think Haynes is lucky Veliki is sitting behind him here and giving that assist to Haynes. So 18 laps to go here from Daytona. It's Austin DeLong leading Jarrett Haynes, Landon Veliki, Connor Cunningham, Dylan Godinez as the lead lap. Ben Park one down, Daniel Park in the pit lane. Robert Vig, Daniel Baldwin also still getting their machines repaired. Caleb Hatt, Sean Corcoran, they've called it an evening. Get a little sense for speed here. 180 miles an hour almost all the way around. And now we take a look at Cunningham's speed here at the back of the pack and see just how he's hanging along. Everyone actually kind of all rolling at the same 179, 180.
I would not be surprised if the back two pull out into the high side and make pair up and just get by the bottom, because I feel like the last two, Cunningham and Velicky, feel like they have a lot more speed than the top two, so I think they can make it work around the top.
They absolutely have more speed than Jared. It's gonna be now that they can use Jared as the cover, maybe the buffer car to try to play a move here. Returning to competition is Daniel Park. That 7 machine. He'll try to get back up to speed, maybe catch the pack and eat into his brother's advantage over him. That car has seen better days. So as Daniel Park gets up to speed. Top 4 still no Satale. They're playing the long con here. Now, they did split up a little bit, and right here is now where Velicky and Cunningham could get together if they're communicating. Though it doesn't look like Velicky and Cunningham are on the same page. They are losing a little touch to Austin DeLong. Now, I don't know if that's because Jared Haynes is too damaged or if this is being done on purpose. So Velicky and Cunningham, as we cross halfway here at Daytona, now working 16 of 30. It is Austin DeLong leading and starting to gap Jared Haynes and the rest of the field. Just up the road is the lapped vehicle of Dylan Godinez, and that could be playing a factor as well. Godinez drops out of the way, and now Haynes has to be pushed back up to DeLong. Can they make anything happen? Big run here. They close up. And to no avail.
Wow, they really caught up to DeLong on that straightaway.
This will be nice for Godinez. He should catch the draft nicely here.
Do what Cunningham did and just pull him in.
And now, to your point, Drake, we've got now more factors, more variables to the mix. There could be maybe a ploy against Austin DeLong.
I'm curious to see what Godinez does here in the back. I think he's going to be the one that starts the high side.
Well, Godinez will definitely be the one to dictate which group gets moving, if and should they split. Well, all for naught, a little bit of a lackluster duel after lap 2 calamity strikes the ThermoPro Series field here in the Daytona qualifier duels. 4 healthy vehicles left. Dylan Godinez, 1 lap down, is attached to this pack. Should anything, and anything is going to be hard, but should anything bring out the magic yellow, and Godinez will be back on the lead lap by virtue of the beneficiary. Godinez takes a look up high on Cunningham. No help, of course. See as he may. We'll see what he can do. He's making some ground up. He's getting a nose up on Cunningham, but at what cost? You know, what is the ploy here other than maybe just to learn?
Maybe see if one of the top 2 comes up and he can get a draft or from this lapper here.
Ben Park here as well. We'll see if Ben, I know he hasn't gotten any damage repaired, but does that help any? And Dan Park as well is going to be right in the thick of it. Every car on track is now in the same spot on the racetrack. Dan Park, does he file in line here? He does drop behind Godinez. Can he get that draft? Try as he might, trying to stay with. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it will. A valiant effort from Dan Park as Dylan Godinez now takes him to the outside. Dan trying to keep that sniff of slipstream. 10 laps to go here from Daytona. 25 miles to settle it of this 75-mile event to set the starting lineup for next week's race. And Godinez is trying to make any ground up on the inside. He gets up alongside and even ahead of Connor Cunningham, but to no avail. Now Veliki has to work with Jared Haynes, and Cunningham, big run. Dan Park, he's not losing steam. Dan Park might have gotten enough. You know, Dan Park, he's running faster than the leaders, so maybe he is going to stay in this lead draft.
Yeah, it looks like just maybe he got it. Just got enough. I have a
Slowly,
feeling.
he does. There goes Godinez. You're right. Godinez trying again. Godinez tries. He might try maybe to play some of the side drafting game, try to slow down some of the competitors, but with everyone all trained up, it's going to be hard for Godinez to make any ground. He does make a little bit there. If he can get to the 62, we might be talking a different ball game. And I think he's there. And Dan Park closes up to Cunningham, so Park will be a pawn and work with Connor Cunningham should Cunningham need it. And so now
He
we'll
might
have
go up
six.
He might. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, Park is going to go with his teammate here in Connor Cunningham, so we'll see how they work together. But
Now that we're
Godinez
under
is
10
not giving
laps,
it up. Yeah,
now that we're under 10 laps, this is where if you have anything, you're going to want to use it, especially the last 5. So look towards the back, because I think that's where we're going to see some of the action happen.
I think we're going to see it probably closer to 3 to go. Because while, you know, it's only 6 cars, it shouldn't be that much to pass them. It is going to be hard to generate a run. Everyone is running the exact same speed right now. There's not a whole lot of run to be generated. Dylan Godinez, I mean, he's been on the outside for about 5 laps now and still staying with.
I'm actually surprised how well he's making that work around the top. I would assume the draft on the inside would be much powerful, but he's making it work. Props to him.
I think the biggest factor in all of this, Drake, is going to be the damaged vehicle and Jared Haynes. Just right there in the thick of the pack, maybe preventing them from going faster than they can, because Haynes can't suck up to the back of the 89, and Haynes cannot get any more push to DeLong, and he might just be holding the whole train back, and Godinez keeping everyone at bay. And so 6 laps to go here from Daytona to set the starting lineup for next week's 85 lapper. Godinez back alongside Cunningham, and if there's any plan for Cunningham and Park to get by, Godinez is going to be the thorn in their side. If Godinez can just get to the 62, he might have something. I know I said that before, but here he goes. He can get to that quarter panel. He can bring the 62 off of Jared Haynes, and then we might have a real battle. But doesn't do much to affect Veliki. And so Godinez slides back, and Daniel Park now, and now here goes Cunningham. Cunningham jumps up. He's gonna go with Dylan Godinez. He gets to the outside. He's going to drag that 7 back of Jared Haynes, or he's got 7 in the sim, but scored as the 22.
Yeah, now we see the high side coming along. Now Dylan is going to come up right behind him, and hopefully now we have two-lane race.
Yeah, they're going to use the lap car as well. Cunningham, he's gotten up to Jared Haynes. If he can get to the quarter panel of DeLong, it's going to be something. but neither Godinez or Dan Park can get up there, and so now it's Cunningham fighting 3 against 1 with 4 laps to go. What is Cunningham gonna do? Cunningham will drop down, and if he can get Dan Park to close that gap, you know the 24 and the 7 are gonna go together. Now Godinez, a big shove to the back of the 7. This time by will be 3 laps to go from Daytona. If anything's gonna happen, it's gonna come from Cunningham, Park, and Godinez. Godinez trying the outside again. And that is going to hurt the number of cars they have fighting. Cunningham's going to have to see this in the mirror. He's got to jump up now and take Godinez. He's got to go now. And he will off of turn 2. Cunningham going down for more slipstream. See if there's anything that Dan Park can do, but the fact that Cunningham and Park are together, not a whole lot's going to happen.
A big push for the top 2 or top 3.
Right, Veliki does get a big shot to Haynes.
It's not enough.
And it's really Godinez thwarting the plans here for Cunningham and Daniel Park. 2 laps to go, 5 miles to settle it. If Godinez can push Daniel Park, I think we're going to have something here. Cunningham wants to go. And now Dan Park experiencing connectivity problems. That is definitely going to hurt. And a shove from Daniel Park to Connor Cunningham. Big run now to the outside he goes. Trying to drag Godinez along. Here we go. A lap and a third to go. Dan Park jumps up. Park's got to get down, and Godinez has got to go with. Godinez drops. They're going to battle behind. 1 lap to go. Cunningham trying to use the side draft. No help to the 24. All the while, Austin DeLong, he's got his own problems now, as here goes Jared Haynes and Veliki. Haynes to the outside. A shove. Godinez is gonna go round. No, he saves it. Haynes, a push to the point. Now Veliki's in position. Can he do anything out of turn 4? Off of 4 they go. A push gone wrong behind. 3 wide for the win. DeLong and Veliki. Austin DeLong will win the Daytona duel here in the ThermoPro Series.
By 0.01 seconds. That might be the closest finish I've seen on the sim. That was insane.
3 wide across the stripe. Austin DeLong gets past and repasses on the last lap as they went 3 wide across the stripe.
For a second there, I thought Haynes was going to get it. I was like, wow. But then Austin DeLong came flying on the high side. Got it by 0.01 seconds.
And right there at the line, Austin DeLong, Landon Veliki. That will decide the Daytona duels here. And so, Godinez giving a bump to his teammate, Austin DeLong, for getting the duel victory. And DeLong, he says, we don't need to save the engine. We'll light it up. Or the front bumper. We don't need that either. And so Austin DeLong getting it done, showing utter dominance tonight. We will have the opportunity to speak with our pole sitter in driver of the 89 of Austin DeLong. I know, Austin, you qualified on pole already, so this just cements the getting it done tonight here at Daytona in the duel. What did you learn tonight, and how will you apply that to next week's 85 lap main event?
Well, it definitely wasn't easy coming to the end. About 90% of the race wasn't too bad, since I led for most of that race. But coming to the end, the two guys right behind me, they got one heck of a run on the last lap, and I had to try something, so I pulled in behind and tried my best to take him on the outside. I think I got into the back of Landon during one of those moves, so I do apologize to him. But yeah, hopefully I can carry this momentum into the race next week.
Absolutely, a dominance today. Now, how will you play that? Obviously, staying up front was very nice to do here in the duel, albeit the lap 2 carnage. It's going to be a little harder next week, of course, you know, with the full field in tow. What's going to be the plan to keep that 89 up front?
Hopefully I can stay up front. A lot of the wrecks tonight were mid-pack to back of the pack, so I think staying up front is key to at least having a chance to win one of these races. I know at the super speedway anything can happen, so it's always up in the air, but I think staying up front and staying out of trouble is really key for these races.
Absolutely, Austin. Well, congratulations on not only the pole, but the dual victory tonight here at Daytona. Best of luck to you next week as we kick things off for Season 7 here in the ThermoPro Series.
Thank you.
And that was our race winner, driver of the 89, Austin DeLong. He getting things done here tonight in Daytona. Drake, what's your takeaway?
Yeah, that was a good race on the last lap. I was not expecting that run from the second, third place. But once they did get that run, I was not expecting them to lose it there at the line. But photo finish, love to see it at Daytona. But yeah, just a key to see what will happen next week for the main one, 85 laps.
Absolutely. And so Austin DeLong getting things done here from Daytona, qualifying on pole in lone car quali, and getting the dual victory. Well, that'll do it for tonight's race here from the World Center of Racing. Thank you all so much for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all at Speed Racing Network, Drake Carty and myself, Emerson Arden, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for both the Hair Club Truck and the ThermoPro season openers from Daytona.